Hello and welcome all. Today we are going to relive the top 10 moments of the MCU. For this countdown, we have considered the moments that not only redefined the characters but also continue to remain fan favorites after years of cinematic storytelling. These are the moments that left long-lasting impressions and continue to be remembered as the pivotal moments of the MCU. So without further ado, let's get this video started. At number 10, we have the fight scene between Captain America and Iron Man from the movie Captain America Civil War. The revelation that Winter Soldier killed Tony's parents and the fact that Cap knew about it all along creates such a feeling of distrust that Tony and Cap decide to fight till death. It was this event that divided the Team Avengers and led to the team's defeat in Avengers Infinity War. The fight scene in itself was epic, from Iron Man and Cap's hand-to-hand combat to Winter Soldier losing his metallic arm to Iron Man's arc reactor. The scene carried a lot of emotional stake as Cap and Tony had together saved worlds on multiple occasions, and Tony even considered Cap his friend. But as the fate would have it, they found their differences were too big to be sorted out as friends, and it took them some 10 years and the death of half of the universe to finally sort things out. At number 9, we have Hela destroys the Mjolnir in Thor Ragnarok. Without doubt, Hela was one of the best parts of the movie, and what could have been a better way to introduce the goddess of death than make her destroy the very weapon on which Thor Odinson was too dependent in times of crisis. The destruction of Mjolnir not only sets up Hela as one of the most powerful villains of the MCU, but it also paves the way for newer and redefined version of Thor. There have been some confusion over the scene. Was Hela actually lifting the hammer? Was she worthy? People have been saying that since hammer previously belonged to Hela, she was able to wield it. Some have said that since Odin died, his magical spell on the hammer died with him. But the truth is, Hela was not actually wielding the hammer, as she was not worthy, not even a bit. All she did was to stop the Mjolnir mid-air. If you look closer, you will notice that she doesn't move the hammer an inch. All she does is hold the Mjolnir in its place and breaks it into pieces with nothing but just her sheer strength. At number 8, we have the scene Dormammu I've Come to Bargain from the Doctor Strange movie. This scene not only showcases us the true powers of the Time Stone, but also paves the way for the monumental scene where Doctor Strange sees some 14,605 possibilities in Avengers Infinity War. Dormammu is a formidable opponent for any given team of superheroes. But the fact that Doctor Strange single-handedly manages to fend off the Lord of Dark Dimension showcases us the intelligence and wit of the Sorcerer Supreme. The another great thing about this scene was that it was an original and a fascinating way to deal with the main villain of the superhero movie. And the time that Doctor Strange spent in the Dark Dimension made him a better sorcerer, as he spent months if not weeks practicing his magic while Dormammu kills him time and time again in more cruel and unique ways. At number 7, we have the Captain America lift scene from the movie Captain America the Winter Soldier. The lift fight scene was the first scene of the movie to be filmed. What is great about this scene is that it changes Captain America forever. He learns that he can't actually trust his people from work, and it is this distrust of his in the authorities that leads him to oppose the Sokovia Accords, which finally results in civil war and ends up dividing the Team Avengers. We, the audience, learn that S.H.I.E.L.D. is compromised as Hydra has staged a secret invasion and overtaking the strategic government's department. The lift fight scene packed some great punches, and it felt a lot more intense and gut-wrenching than many other hand-to-hand combat scenes. At number 6, we have Captain Marvel goes binary as she removes the Kree device that kept her from unleashing her true powers. Carol Danvers is touted as the most powerful Avenger, and the Captain Marvel movie tells us why. Kree were using her as a weapon of their own, but at the end of the movie, when she was having a word with the Kree Supreme Intelligence, she realizes that the Kree technology was not the source of her powers, rather it was quite the contrary. When Carol Danvers converts into her all-growing form, she proves to be nigh unstoppable, from fighting the Kree-trained soldiers to stopping the missiles that were meant to destroy an entire planet. She then goes on to destroy an entire Kree fleet, and she does all this without taking any damage whatsoever. At number 5, we have the Hulk's I'm Always Angry and Puny God scene from the first Avengers movie. The introduction of the Hulk in the movie Avengers made him an instant fan favorite. Thor Ragnarok pays tribute to that Puny God scene from the first Avengers movie where Hulk thrashes Loki as if he was the God Butcher. I think Hulk was at his peak in the first Avengers movie, and ever since he has been on a downhill. he has transformed from being the most feared being on the planet to a docile guy with a damaged arm. But nonetheless, you can never discount somebody as powerful as the Hulk, and let's hope that we get to see more of Incredible Hulk in the coming years. At number 4, we have Captain America lifts the Mjolnir in Avengers Endgame. Marvel beautifully pays off the setup of Avengers Age of Ultron where Cap moved the Mjolnir. In Avengers Endgame, when Thor goes back in time, he brings along his hammer to 2023, and when the time finally comes, Cap lifts the Mjolnir and almost saves Thor's life. Cap gives some real fight to Thanos with his vibranium shield and Mjolnir. This fight scene was easily the best one of the movie, and while Cap retires at the end of the movie, the fans were at least satisfied that they got to see the most badass version of the Steve Rogers before he called it quits. At number 3, we have Thanos' snap at the end of Avengers Infinity War. If you are someone who knew very little about the comics storyline and watched Avengers Infinity War without any spoilers for the very first time, you are bound to be dumbstruck by the ending of the movie. The line that you should have gone for the head took over the pop culture, and what followed was even more unprecedented. Marvel killed off more than half a dozen superheroes. The Spider-Man farewells to Tony is something that very few people will ever forget. The line that I don't feel so good is another classic from the movie. Marvel's bold decision to let the villain win and leave the audience guessing for what is to come next made Avengers Endgame the biggest movie of all time as far as box office is concerned. Thanos' snap changed the MCU unlike any other event and will continue to feel its impact for the foreseeable future. At number 2, we have Thor's entry in Wakanda in Avengers Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War was a Thor's movie as much as it was a Thanos' movie. Their rivalry was set up in the very beginning of the movie, and ever since they were on a collision course. Thanos was on his journey to get the 6 Infinity Stones, and Thor to get his new weapon that was capable of killing Thanos. Thor almost lost his life to get the Stormbreaker, and when he finally wields it and returns to Earth to fight Thanos' army alongside the Avengers in Wakanda, the scene was just too OP to behold. It generated such audience reaction in the theaters worldwide that Russo brothers, the directors of Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, said that they turned to the audience reaction to this scene whenever they felt uninspired while shooting Avengers Endgame. This scene will continue to be remembered as the best superhero entrance for many years to come. And finally at number 1, we have Iron Man's snap in Avengers Endgame. There are a lot of worthy Iron Man moments that could have been on this list, but the one to top them all is definitely his I am Iron Man moment from Avengers Endgame. Tony sacrificing his life to save the entire universe is the most badass way and probably the best farewell to Tony's character. Tony Stark, a guy with no superhuman powers, just some money in the bank coupled with incredible genius, makes him the man who saved the universe where gods and wizards are actually real. MCU will never be the same without RDJ as Tony Stark, but let's hope that this new phase without some of the OG Avengers is as exciting and fun as the last 11 years. With that, we'll bring this video to an end. Let me know in the comments which is your favorite MCU moment, and is there any that should have been on this list. Once again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more upcoming content.